Hello, people. I'm Dan Abella, the director of the New York NLP Institute. I wanted to really share a couple of sales tips with you guys today. Some of you might be in the sales business, and who isn't? I mean, if you think of sales as persuasion, we're always in the business of persuasion. So a lot of people think of sales as something they want to avoid and they really would like not to. However, you start redefining what sales is, it might very well change your life, and that's what we're all about. So what is sales? Okay, so you're in sales, you're selling experiences, you're selling possibilities, you're selling changes. A lot of people think is about hitting the person over the head with information, with or just unduly influencing them in a negative way. My goal when I'm teaching NLP, whether it be in sales or in therapy, is to identify the needs of the customer. So once you identify what those needs are, not the wants, but the needs, because needs always trump wants. What do they really need? Once you identify those needs, then your goal is to offer the product as a solution to their needs. So the product is not just information, it's not just a product, but it contains an embodiment of the experience they're looking for. What's important about having that need fulfilled? And that's what you want to ask them as you talk with them. Now, most importantly, when you start a conversation with someone and you're selling a product or a service, you got to be in state as well. You can't just feel nervous and uncertain or unclear. You got to say, number one, I believe in the product. Number two, I know the information inside out, and I'm going to now help my communication, through my communication, help my client feel the same way. So once you have a need, you've identified the need for your client, then you ask them, well, what is it that's going to take you to make that decision now? So sometimes a lot of clients will come to you and say, well, this is not a good time, or perhaps it's too expensive, or I need to think it over, and so on. And they're very valid, and they're often objections that come up regularly. So one of the ways to get them to start reconsidering your product is to get them get them in the state of buying. One of the things you could do, very simple, is, well, let's say your client comes to you and say, well, I'm not so sure if this product is the right product for me. Okay, think about what they just said at that moment. They're already in a negative buying state. I'm not so sure, or maybe you're ready to convince. Then you can ask them, well, if this was the right product for you, what would have changed? What would it have changed in you? What have you seen? What you have heard that as you look at this product now, it's changed from the way you used to think about it? By asking them this question, you ask them to go into the future and revisit the product from the future, having already made a decision that the product is the right product for them. And they'll tell you, well, if I thought this was the right product for me, I would have all the information I need to make that decision. So at that point, you can say, okay, great. So what information do you need now to make that decision? Or they could say, well, if I thought this product was the right product for me, I would have felt this was the right product for me. And you could say, well, if that's the case, have you thought of a time when you bought a product and you really felt this was the right product for you? Then you show them the product. They could say, well, someone would have told me that this is the right product for me. And then you could say, well, I'm telling you this is the right product for you. I'm sharing this information with you. Again, they will reveal what's necessary for them to make the decision to buy the product. I always like to start saying, listen, I'm a decision engineer. I'm not a salesperson, but I'll help you make good decisions. Because you see, if you make a good decision, you'll send me a lot of referrals. And that is really the mainstay of my business. If I sell you a product you hate, you're just going to tell everybody about it, and my business will go downhill. And the reason I've been in business for over 30 years is because I help people make good decisions. For instance, Tell me about a time you made a good decision. Then at that point, you ask them and look at where their eyes are moving, for instance. Okay, great. Tell me about a time you made a bad decision. Okay, excellent. So at this point, what is what you do? You take your product and then place it in the good decision and notice what happens. Now, I am presuming that the product that you're selling them, that you're moving, is a good product for you, for them, and for you. Because ultimately, no matter what technique you use, if it's a bad product, they'll hate you and they will tell all their friends. And we live in an age where even doctors are required to get and receive feedback from others. So it's very important. Do you sell a product you believe in? If you don't believe in this product, get out of that business. No technique in the world is going to help you if you don't believe in this product. For instance, I used to work as a recruiter at Google for over a year or so. One of my goals is to make sure that I would align the person with the right position. So my goal was to identify what are their real needs, not what they're telling me right away, but what's really important, what's going to make the difference and make the difference, and really dive deep into what they're asking you. Dive deep. Don't just take no for an answer. You want to be able to stay in rapport. Listen to what they're saying. Have them say more than what you're saying. Your goal should be have them speak 90% and you speak about 10%. Most salesmen try to speak over the customer. That only leads to a pushback. Lean back and listen to what they're saying. What kind of predicates are they using? What's their tonality? Are they in a buying state or they're not sure? Put them in a buying state. Issue the product, present the product, and notice what happens. It's that simple. It's not complicated. I know tons and tons of books have been on selling. And I don't believe in scripted selling. I believe in identifying what the needs of your customer. And if you have the right product, then you, with full certainty and full congruency, you should be able to present the product so they now buy it from you. Make them feel they're special. A lot of people like to be seen and like to be heard. Don't treat them just like another ATM machine, but have them feel like human beings. Once they open up to you with just the goal of rapport, then you can go ahead and present the product that they'll feel is the right product for them. If you like what you hear, we offer courses in NLP at the New York NLP Institute that will help you become a better communicator, whether it be a salesperson, a therapist, a counselor. And by the way, you like me know that communication is universal. Whether you're selling or you're in the process of helping your client change, overcome a certain trauma or a certain challenge in their life, it boils down to language. So the language patterns that we teach run across different areas of their life with some minor changes. So whether you're a therapist or a counselor, peak performance coach, a salesperson, or anyone else who wants to improve the quality of your life and others, reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to work with you. The New York NLP Institute, nynlpinstitute.com. Feel free to leave a comment below and certainly subscribe and tell all your friends about it, because we're here in the business of bringing out the very best in you. Have a good day. Speak to you soon.